Hi everybody, welcome back to the Cloth and Paper YouTube channel. Today we are going over everything to do with fountain pens. We've got a couple of different kinds here, so we're going to show you how to use them, add ink, remove ink, clean the fountain pen, and everything to do with using them. Maybe this will convert you into becoming a fountain pen user. So starting off, we have a couple of different kinds of fountain pens here. We've got our cloth and paper fountain pens, and these came in the December intention box. If you received that box, then you have one of these pens here. It also came with a bottle of ink. And then we also have the Kaweco Sport fountain pens. These come in a bunch of different colors, and you can add ink cartridges in whatever color you want. They have a very pretty gold nib. They also come in fun prints like this hickory one. It's almost like a tortoiseshell pattern. And we also have this Scrivener golden fountain pen. This one is really beautiful. It has a nice weight to it. So we'll just go over each pen. We also have a couple of different notebooks here to write in. They all have pretty similar paper, but all of our paper is fountain pen safe, fountain pen ready. It won't bleed through to the other pages. It'll hold up the ink very well. So we're gonna go ahead and test them out on these. So let's begin with going over different pens. As we mentioned, this is the fountain pen that was in the December intention box. This is a really beautiful pen, and it almost has like a paintbrush look to it. As you can see, the wooden barrel up close here, and then the golden cap. Just twist that off. And then we have a mixed metal nib right here. Very luxurious feeling pen. And then you just twist off the barrel and you can see the ink converter. So this is what we're going to use to pull up the ink from the bottle into the pen. So first you're going to take this out and it just pops right out, and then you have the nib and the converter. So when you receive your pen, you're going to get the converter, and you want to make sure that it's twisted all the way to the top, and you can just do that by twisting this little piece right here. And once it's like that, you'll be able to dip it into the ink. So we're gonna open up this ink bottle so you don't have a mess. So before you start with the ink, maybe place the paper towel down just to make sure that we don't get ink everywhere. I'm gonna dip it into the ink and make sure that you are dipped all the way in. Just start rotating it back. And there we go. We filled up our converter with some ink. You could just always tap off any excess just to make sure it's all neat when it goes back inside the pen. And I'm gonna cap this ink again. And then I'm going to put everything back together. So we're just gonna put this in until we hear a little clicking noise. It's snapped in. We're gonna screw the nib back into the barrel. And now we're ready to write, but first what you wanna do is make sure the ink is saturated through the tip. As you can see, it's already coming out pretty quickly. So we are ready to write. So before you start writing, make sure that the ink is saturated through the pen. Otherwise it might skip. So you can just let it sit. So some of the benefits of using bottled ink offers a wider range of colors and ink properties. For example, shading, sheen, or even waterproof inks. It's also more cost-effective in the long run since you can just keep reusing the same bottle. It requires a pen with a converter. It can be a little bit messier and requires some practice, but overall, once you get it, it's a pretty simple process. Some compatible pens that you can use with the bottled ink are the Kaweco Classic Sport, Kaweco Art Sport pens. You can also use it with the Scrivener EDC fountain pen, which we will talk about in a minute. The wood and brass fountain pen from your intention box. Okay, so next up we have the Scrivener EDC fountain pen, and this is a really beautiful pen. As you can see just from the outside, it's this really nice gold finish, and it has a little bit of weight to it, so it feels very luxurious, very fancy. Like, this is the kind of pen that you would write really important documents, notes, letters in. And this pen is compatible with bottled ink or cartridge ink, depending on your preference. But right now we have a cartridge in here. So a fun fact is you can also store multiple cartridges inside of your pen. So you can always have a backup on you and just keep it right in the barrel, and it'll sit nicely underneath the already punctured pen. So to give this a little test, and like the other pen, we will make sure the ink is ready to flow through. And this pen has a little bit larger of a nib than the other one, so your writing is going to be a little bit thicker. So let's talk about how to put your ink cartridge into your pen. We're going to be using the Kaweco Sport pen. And then you're just going to unscrew the barrel. And most of the time, your pen will come with an ink cartridge inside. So we're just going to put that into the nib till you hear a puncture noise. It's a little click and you'll know that your ink cartridge is secure and ready to go. We just screw the barrel back on. And now we're ready to write. So just like the other pens, we will wait a second for the ink to saturate. So if you don't want to get anything on your paper, you can try it out with a paper towel or napkin. And you just want to hold the pen straight down or tip it forward a little bit to have the ink flow. And you can see it's already starting to come out, and you can do a little test on here just to make sure it's flowing properly. And then we are ready to write. And this is the Classic Sport pen. As you can see, the nib is very, very fine on here, so it's going to be really precise to write with. It's the extra fine nib. Blue comes in many barrel options. It has a great ink flow. Okay. You can also show a couple of the other color options that we have. We have this black barrel, a really beautiful forest green that matches really well with our Salamanca folio. We also have this wine colored pen that matches really well with our Madrid folio. And the hickory brown. This is a beautiful, almost tortoiseshell-like pattern. Goes great with our tortoiseshell planner discs if you want to get your whole planner cohesive and matchy. So lots of options to choose from. There's also many nib sizes to choose from. So you can really customize your fountain pen any way that you want to. Make it the easiest and best writing experience for you. Okay, so let's go over some different ink colors and how ink color can change the feel of your writing. So some of the colors that we offer are olive green, midnight blue, and black. So let's test them out. Let's start off with black ink. It's timeless and professional, classic and bold, ideal for official documents and informal writing. So there is black ink. Also, depending on the nib size, depends how bold the ink is going to look. This is a medium nib, so it's going to come out a little bit darker. So next we have blue ink. Blue is also classic, great for documents, adds a fun pop. That is blue. And next we have gorgeous olive green ink. This is a C&P exclusive color. This is actually one of our shades that we created. So olive green, unique, vintage inspired color, stands out. It's also neutral enough, so it's maintaining any elegance in your writing. So let's get a little closer look at those colors. Other colors that we offer that we don't have at the moment with us are the caramel brown and palm green, which are really nice, warm, earthy tones that add a little bit of personality to journaling, creative projects, notes, whatever it may be. For ink bottles, we also have the olive green in a bottled ink, and we also offer pilot colors in black, blue, green, red. Let's dive into how to clean your fountain pen. There are a few ways you can do this, and it's super simple. To begin, remove the converter from your pen, release all of the ink either back into your ink bottle or into a glass of water, and continue pulling water up and releasing until the water runs clear and the converter is fully clean. You can soak your converter to ensure it's extra clean. Dab on a towel to dry, and to clean the nib, remove it from the pen tip and soak it in water. Test on a towel to ensure all ink is removed, and make sure all parts are fully dry before next use. So those are just some of the fountain pens that we offer here at Cloth and Paper. We have so many different barrel styles. We have so many different nib sizes to choose from. So it's a really fun way to experiment with writing in a different way with a more unique writing tool. And you can create a custom writing experience, choose your ink colors, your nib sizes, your pen, and you can have your very own custom pen that nobody else has.